In 1999, No Limit Records was still a powerhouse. Coming off a massively successful 1998 with more than 20 releases, the label continued flooding the market with projects, many producing hit singles that kept their presence strong. But despite the momentum, cracks in their armor began to show, most notably with the departure of their in-house producers, Beats by the Pound. The shift in sound was impossible to ignore, and while some artists managed to adapt, others struggled. Master P also expanded the roster with new acts, though these fresh faces didn't always resonate the same way as the veterans. What makes 1999 so fascinating is how it reflects both sides of No Limit's legacy. Some artists fell into sophomore slumps, while others leveled up and delivered stronger follow-ups. Certain projects showed flashes of brilliance even without the original production team, while others exposed weaknesses in the formula. In this ranking, I'll be breaking all of that down. Keep in mind, I listened to every single album thoroughly, multiple times, with no bias. This list is solely about who made the better music. So let's dive into another deep ranking in the No Limit catalog.
Where the little soldiers at? Open it, watch it. There they go. Where they at? Open it, watch it.
Listening to Boot Camp by Lil Soldiers is a strange experience. The kids clearly have talent, they can rap, ride the beat, and bring surprising energy for their age, but the sound of their young voices is a major hurdle. Being only 7 and 9, their high-pitched delivery makes it hard to take their lyrics seriously, even when the subject matter leans toward positive or motivational themes. Features from veterans like Magic, Mia X, and Fiend help lend credibility, and the production itself is often strong, keeping that classic No Limit bounce alive. Songs like Close to a Bomb and Best in the World show ambition and potential, while tracks such as Okie Dokie and Close to You attempt to balance family-friendly content with street credibility. Still, the project feels more like a novelty than a convincing full-length album. The seriousness of some songs clashes with their delivery, and while moments like Schoolyard Battling or Get Up are fun and energetic, the gimmick wears thin quickly. The Lil Soldiers deserve credit for their consistency and effort, but ultimately Boot Camp stands as more of an experiment than an enjoyable record. It represents No Limit's willingness to try new ideas, but as an overall listening experience, it falls short and lands as the weakest release of 1999.
For real. I know we from different sides, you know.
Made Man starts off on shaky ground, with Silk the Shocker's already unorthodox style veering further into messy territory. His tendency to rap off beat and stumble over words is more glaring than ever, giving some tracks an amateurish feel. Conceptually, the album has promise, with Silk embracing his made man persona and tackling themes of love, loyalty, and street survival, but the execution often falters. Somebody Like Me with Maya suffers from flat chemistry and a forgettable R&B instrumental. While It Ain't My Fault Too wastes Mystikal's explosive verse by pairing it with Silk's awkward delivery. Even the tribute tracks meant to honor fallen friends end up cringeworthy, especially It's Going Around Outside, where his exaggerated flow makes the sentiment hard to take seriously. That said, the album isn't without its bright spots. On If It Don't Make Dollars, Silk's chaotic style actually fits the busy production, turning his quirks into something enjoyable. No Limit is another highlight, with a clever Q&A concept and strong chemistry with Mystikal, while Mr. 99 improves on his earlier track with infectious production and more confidence. The closer Get It Up, featuring Snoop Dogg, ends things on a celebratory note that shows flashes of what the project could have been. Ultimately, Made Man is weighed down by Silk's worst habits and clumsy performances, but the handful of moments where his style clicks remind you why he remained one of the label's most unique, if inconsistent voices.
Let me tell you about your baby daddy, picking me up early in the morning.
Mercedes' rear end highlights both her talent and the frustrating inconsistencies that held her back. At her best, she blends rapping and singing with charisma and versatility, as on Hit 'Em and Camouflage, where her confidence and delivery shine. Tracks like It's Your Thing become memorable largely because of her alluring vocals, even when paired with a weak Master P verse. The album leans heavily on sexual themes, from playful skits like Kiss the Cat to provocative cuts like Do You Wanna Ride and Pony Ride. These moments show her boldness and creativity, but not every attempt lands. Some songs suffer from clunky mixing or structural issues like with Ghetto Commission, which has strong ideas but poor execution. The bigger issue with Rear End is its over-reliance on features, many of which don't complement Mercedes' style. Collabs such as Talk to Me with Master P, Mia X, and Erica Fox or Hush with Mystical often dilute her presence, while Bonnie and Clyde with Magic falls short despite a solid concept. Still, when the chemistry clicks, the results are impressive. You're the Only One with Alexis is smooth and sensual. I Need a Thug showcases her vocal versatility, and Talk Dirty to the DJs proves she could command the spotlight on her own. In the end, Rear End is a project full of potential that only partially delivers. Mercedes had the skill set to stand out in the crowded No Limit roster, but uneven collaborations and a narrow thematic focus keep the album from being the breakout statement it could have been.
I live my life as a killer. Did I grow up with the thugs? Yeah, I could have been a doctor. Instead, I sold drugs.
Only God Can Judge Me is a mix of inspiration, energy, and inconsistency, reflecting Master P's transitional phase after No Limit lost Beats by the Pound. The opener and title track sets a strong tone, with spiritual reflections over uplifting production, while cuts like Ghetto Prayer and Where Do We Go From Here highlight his motivational side, with heartfelt lyrics and solid guest appearances from Nas, Mac, and Sons of Funk. Songs such as Step to This and Stop Playing With Me bring P's trademark hype energy, while smoother moments like Boonopolis show his attempt at more playful, female-focused material. Even if the chemistry doesn't always land, his freestyle-like intensity remains, but not every beat or chorus has the punch to match it. Production is where the album feels uneven, sometimes delivering catchy results like The Ballers with Jermaine Dupri, but also stumbling on generic cuts like Ghetto Honeys. Guest features are equally hit or miss, with some adding spark while others sound phoned in. Despite its flaws, Only God Can Judge Me balances spirituality, loyalty, ambition, and street reflections in a way that still makes it engaging. It may not be Master P's sharpest or most consistent effort, but it captures his resilience and determination during a crucial transitional period. The album serves as proof of his versatility and drive, even as No Limit's sound was shifting around him. The Crime Family reflects both the strengths and weaknesses of No Limit in the late 90s. The album opens strong with True the Beginning, a cinematic intro where Silk's unorthodox flow fits surprisingly well, followed by Master P's motivational speech. The energy peaks on Hoodie Who, featuring one of No Limit's most iconic hooks, though its repetitiveness can wear thin on repeat listens. Tracks like Dangerous in My City and Miller Boys show flashes of high energy, but the group's inconsistent chemistry often makes songs feel like a series of individual verses rather than a cohesive collective effort. Even well-produced cuts, such as True Homies or The Ghetto Is a Struggle, sometimes fall flat due to this lack of unity. Despite its unevenness, the album has standout moments that showcase why TRU mattered. Don't Judge Me thrives on smooth production and heartfelt verses, while Silk delivers one of his best solo performances on The World Is Yours. Emotional tracks like R.I.P. Kevin display genuine vulnerability, enhanced by strong contributions from Odell and Portia. Guest appearances from Snoop Dogg, Mia X, and others help fill gaps when TRU's chemistry falters. Production leans into No Limit's dramatic, mafia-inspired style, though not every beat is memorable. Overall, the Crime Family is inconsistent but rewarding. When the group locks in, they produce some of the most compelling tracks in the No Limit catalog, even if the album as a whole doesn't fully cohere.
My heart is bigger than my body. Make moves like God, they sting like a wasp. Throw them things like
Lil Italy's On Top of the World is one of those No Limit projects that shows flashes of promise but struggles to stand out in the crowded late 90s lineup. The opener, Ghetto Fame, starts strong with its motivational vibe, catchy chorus, and Italy's raw yet energetic delivery. Unfortunately, much of the album struggles to maintain that momentum. Tracks like Come and Get It and Dog's Ride have solid production but are weighed down by clunky features and weak chemistry. Italy occasionally demonstrates vocal versatility, but his lyrics and delivery often fall into generic territory on songs like We Riders, Power, and Fake Ass Friends. These missteps make large portions of the album feel formulaic, as if he's following the No Limit blueprint rather than carving out his own identity. That said, On Top of the World has bright spots where Italy shines. Collaborations like Hoes and Tramps with Fiend flow smoothly, while Game Tight delivers a polished motivational cut that plays to his strengths. Posse cuts like We Ain't Hard to Find inject welcome energy, showing what Italy can do with the right support. The back half of the album also includes standout tracks like 7 Days a Week, Down and Dirty, and Badussi, with catchy hooks and creative production. Closing track California takes a more reflective tone, ending the project on a stronger note than much of the middle section. Overall, the album feels uneven. Lil Italy had confidence and genuine potential, but too often blended into the No Limit machine rather than defining his own sound. Still, the highlights make it a worthwhile listen for fans exploring the label's deeper catalog.
I'm from the city where they ride around town, windows half down, listen disgusting, but it
Fiend's street life feels like a cinematic journey through his world, balancing grit, reflection, and emotional honesty. The opening skit immediately sets the tone, with Fiend sharing how the streets shaped his character, creating an atmosphere that feels raw and personal. Early highlights like The Rock Show showcase his raspy, animated delivery over horn-driven production, while Talk It How I Bring It stands out with motivational energy, female vocal accents, and Fiend's larger-than-life charisma. Not every track sustains that spark. Songs like War for Reason, Get Into It, and Actin' Bad can feel like filler with uninspired production or underwhelming verses, but Fiend's personality keeps the project engaging. The album's greatest strength is Fiend's ability to blend vulnerability with his rugged delivery. Heart of a Ghetto Boy is a soulful, jazzy standout where he pours raw emotion into both verses and chorus, capturing the struggles of growing up in a harsh environment. Tracks like Trip to London highlight his storytelling, enhanced by guest appearances and Odell's smooth vocals, while I Was Placed Here delivers one of the album's most haunting moments as Fiend and Holloway reflect on their inescapable realities. Closing with Waiting on God, the album reaches its emotional peak, with Fiend questioning his choices and faith over a haunting piano-driven beat. Street life may be uneven at times, but its highs are undeniable, proving Fiend is more than just a raspy-voiced hype rapper. He's a deeply authentic storyteller, capable of creating moments that resonate long after the album ends. Mac's World War III is a project full of highs and lows, making for a somewhat conflicted listening experience. The album opens strong with War Party, where Mac, Magic, and D.I.G. ride an infectious beat-shifting instrumental that perfectly captures the intensity of loyalty in street life. Early tracks like Best Friends, Like Before, and We Deadly struggle, as Mac's delivery can feel flat and uninspired, despite lyrics that carry depth and strong concepts. The momentum picks up with You Never Know, where Mac and Mia X's chemistry stands out, continuing through Just Another Thug and Battle Cry, which highlight his ability to bring passion and emotional weight over well-matched production. Lockdown Remix is a true highlight, pairing a piano-driven beat with Mac's raw reflections on prison life, showcasing one of his strongest performances on the album. The latter half of World War III is a mixed bag. Songs like Paradise, That's Hip Hop, and Can You Love Me, Eyes of a Killer demonstrate stronger chemistry and more compelling concepts, but tracks like Genocide and Father's Day slip back into repetition or lackluster delivery. The Closer Still Calling Me benefits from smooth contributions by Sons of Funk and Miss Peaches, while Assassination ends on a more generic note. Overall, the album is full of missed opportunities. When Mac is focused, the results are moving and strong, but inconsistent delivery and recycled themes prevent it from fully living up to his debut. Still, the standout tracks prove his potential when everything clicks.
basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court. Some ball players like
Who You With is a surprisingly cohesive and energetic No Limit compilation that stands out thanks to its unique basketball theme. The album opens strong with Master P's B-Ball, paying homage to Curtis Blow while setting a spirited competitive tone. Fiend's Cold With It blends smooth production with his signature raspy delivery, and Ghetto Commission's Give Me the Rock uses basketball as a metaphor for ambition, anchored by a catchy chorus. Magic shines on You Ain't a Baller with playful yet sharp commentary, while Mac delivers an inspiring story of perseverance on Put Me in the Game. Snoop Dogg's Hoop Dreams, He Got Game provides imaginative storytelling over a dreamy G-Funk backdrop, and Mia X adds a strong female perspective on Such a Bad Girl. Not every track lands perfectly. C Murder's B-Ballin' on My Block, Big Ed's I'm Hot, Mr. Servon's Smash and Ball, and Silk the Shocker on It Ain't My Fault Too show weaker delivery, but the overall energy and creativity keep the project engaging. Highlights like 2 for 1's Pass the Ball and the collaboration of Snoop Dogg, Mystical, and Fiend on Woof reinforce the playful yet focused concept. With its clever theme, standout tracks, and classic No Limit energy, Who You With succeeds as an entertaining and inventive compilation, experimenting with a concept without losing the signature style that made the label iconic.
Let's be realistic, if I slap the fuck out you, what you talk about it. Better yet, if I come to your motherfucking house, fuck your wife, piss on your grass, kick your dog, what you cry about.
The Next Level is a sophomore No Limit project that improved significantly on Mr. Serv-On's debut, showcasing him as one of the label's most unique voices. His fast, aggressive, almost offbeat delivery stands out among his peers, and though unorthodox, it becomes more appealing with repeated listens. Tracks like Tank and Boot 'Em Up show how well he meshes with his label mates, while FU Serv and 1, 2, 3 rely on simple yet addictive production that lets his unusual flow take center stage. At times, however, his delivery can feel repetitive, particularly on songs like Murder or Best Friend 2, where his rapid-fire bars over static beats verge on monotonous. Still, the first half of the album successfully establishes Serv-On's identity and presence, even if not every track lands. The project truly shines in its emotional moments, where Serv-On slows down and channels his passion into heartfelt storytelling. My Homies, featuring Sons of Funk, stands out as a moving reflection on grief and remembrance, while I'll Be There with Miss Peaches and My Story, with KLC balance his raw delivery with soulful hooks and introspective lyrics. The closing track, The Last Song, is haunting yet hopeful, with Odell's ethereal vocals providing a powerful end to the project. Though throwaway tracks like Snatch Them Hoes Up, Strap Up, and Make 'Em Bleed drag things down, the album's highlights reveal a rapper with personality, emotional depth, and a style that sets him apart within No Limit's crowded roster. The Next Level may be imperfect, but its strengths cement Serv-On as a distinctive and compelling voice on the label. The Foolish soundtrack is a unique blend of smooth R&B, timeless funk and soul classics, and No Limit's gritty street rap, giving it a diverse but sometimes uneven feel. The title track, featuring Master P, Moby Dick and Magic, sets a laid-back tone. Though the chemistry is inconsistent, Moby Dick shines while Master P feels flat, and Magic clashes with the vibe. In contrast, Odell and Portia's Nothing Stays the Same nails its smooth R&B concept, while Snoop Dogg, Daz, and Corrupt bring a bouncy West Coast flair on Don't Be Foolish. Fiend's They Don't Hear Me pops with animated delivery, and Silk the Shocker surprises on For Money, balancing motivational storytelling with a catchy beat. Classic inclusions like Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On, the OJ's For the Love of Money, and Kool and the Gang's Jungle Boogie elevate the album with timeless energy, while C Murder's radio edit of Like a Jungle adds a hauntingly smooth touch. The soundtrack also leans into street energy, with Crooked Eye's Get Your Mob On, Kane and Abel's Yes Indeed, and the high-octane chemistry of C Murder and Mystical on Running from the Police. Mystical's solo That's That Shit fits seamlessly into the chaotic vibe. Though some tracks falter, Mia X's What You Know Good is weighed down by distracting effects. Lil Soldier's School on Lock suffers from youthful limitations, and certain features from Mr. Serv-On and Ghetto Commission fall flat with monotonous hooks. The album closes with Parliament's Aqua Boogie, offering an experimental, chaotic funk trip that rewards repeated listens. While not flawless, Foolish successfully balances smooth R&B, classic funk, and No Limit grit, resulting in an eclectic, entertaining, and memorable soundtrack that captures the label's versatility.
It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going on.
C Murder's Bossellini stands as one of No Limit's most ambitious projects, a sprawling 28-track album that captures his raw intensity, versatility, and emotional depth. C Murder balances street anthems, heartfelt reflections, and smooth relationship cuts, while holding his own alongside both No Limit artists and West Coast heavyweights. Highlights like a Jungle showcase his chilling storytelling and vivid imagery, turning survival into poetry, while Street Keep Calling and Lord Help Us reveal his introspective spiritual side. He also shines on collaborations, Gangsta Walk with Snoop Dogg, Ghetto Millionaire with Corrupt Snoop and Nate Dogg, and I Remember with Magic demonstrate that he could match energy with some of the best in the game. These moments cement his voice as one of the most commanding in Southern rap. The album isn't without flaws. Its massive length, overuse of skits, and a handful of bland beats like Money Talks and Where We Wanna occasionally cause the momentum to dip. Yet even with these inconsistencies, Bossellini feels more like a statement piece than filler, an album that shows C Murder's full range, from gritty street soldier to thoughtful storyteller. Tracks like a Jungle, Lord Help Us, and I Remember are not only standout moments in his catalog, but also staples of No Limit's golden era. While not flawless, the album is a landmark record that proves C Murder was more than just Master P's brother. He was a powerful and authentic voice in the 90s hip-hop.
Oh no, Big Snoop Dogg, back up in the heezy, baby, you jocking my...
With No Limit top dog, Snoop Dogg delivered one of his strongest albums of the late 90s, proving he could thrive outside Death Row and reinvent himself under Master P's No Limit umbrella. The album blends his laid-back West Coast smoothness with harder street-driven production, creating a versatile and engaging listening experience. Tracks like Buckham and My Heat Goes Boom showcase his ability to ride sinister, G-Funk inspired beats with ease, while Snoop-a-Fella and In Love with the Thug highlight his storytelling skills, whether flipping Cinderella into a hood fairy tale or narrating the trials of gangster love. Down for My Ends remains the album's most iconic cut, with Snoop, C-Murder, and Magic delivering a horn-heavy street anthem built on loyalty and brotherhood. Collaborations like Bitch Please with Exhibit and Nate Dogg or Don't Tell with Warren G demonstrate how well Snoop could mesh with different artists while maintaining charisma and sharp execution. Not every track lands at the same level. Songs like Something About Your Business and Gangsta Ride lean into filler territory. Still, the album maintains strong energy, from motivational moments like Better Days to smooth West Coast grooves such as Just Dippin' and Party with a DPG. Even heartfelt cuts like I Love My Mama, while not flawless, show Snoop's willingness to experiment outside his comfort zone. Overall, No Limit Top Dog is a testament to Snoop's adaptability. He moves seamlessly between gritty gangster tales, playful storytelling, and soulful reflection without losing his trademark charm. It stands as one of his best post-Death Row albums and a definitive highlight of his No Limit era. Moby Dick's No Limit debut surprised me as one of the most creative projects in the No Limit catalog. Moby Dick leans into his off-kilter yet soulful singing style, blending it with smooth, polished production that creates a sound both unconventional and infectious. Tracks like Picture You and Me, Intercourse, and You Got That Fire showcase his ability to craft sensual, intimate music while balancing raw emotion with melodic nuance. His vocals shift effortlessly between soothing harmonies and passionate urgency, perfectly capturing themes of lust, romance, and vulnerability. The album goes beyond love songs with reflective cuts like Got to Get Mine and Smoke My Life Away, exploring survival, coping, and personal struggle with honesty and depth. Even when his rapping isn't as strong as his singing, his sincerity and storytelling carry the songs, making them resonate. Collaborations add further dimension without overshadowing Moby Dick's presence. Part 3 unites C-Murder, Magic, and Mia X for a No Limit anthem, while Fiend and Sons of Funk enhance I'd Be a Fool with layered harmonies. Tracks like Shoot 'Em Up Movies and Could It Be highlight his cinematic storytelling. Even the lighter cuts, such as It's Alright and Want Need, remain engaging thanks to catchy hooks and smooth arrangements. Altogether, Gangsta Harmony feels cohesive and emotionally rich, carried by Moby Dick's distinctive voice and authentic artistry. It's a standout gem in the No Limit catalog, balancing sensuality, reflection, and collaboration with ease.
I do my best to keep my past in my past. I remember wearing ski masks, running from the task, bossing at this.
Thuggin' is a sophomore No Limit project that truly shines, showcasing Magic's versatility, charisma, and growth as an artist. From the opener That's Me, he sets the tone with infectious energy, clever punchlines, and a beat that immediately draws listeners in. Tracks like Ice on My Wrist with Master P and Wobble Wobble with C-Murder and Mac maintain the momentum, blending playful flexing with catchy hooks and polished production. The album's deeper cuts reveal Magic's ability to balance hype with heartfelt storytelling. Soldier is an anthem of loyalty and perseverance, powered by Sugar Bear's passionate chorus, while Good Looking Out with D.I.G. delivers a gripping tale of betrayal and revenge. Even lighter tracks like Puff Puff, which celebrates his love for marijuana, are elevated by his animated delivery and addictive production. Magic also demonstrates vulnerability and depth. On Thank You Lord for My Life, he teams with Mia X to reflect on faith and gratitude, while Wanna Get Away with Ms. Peaches offers a softer, more spiritual perspective on escaping hardship. Not every track is a home run. Songs like Club Thang and We Gon' Ride feel more generic, but Magic's raspy delivery and personality keep even the weaker moments engaging. By the album's outro, where he thanks fans and shares personal reflections, Thuggin' feels like a complete journey through hype party records, gritty street tales, and soulful reflections. More than just a solid No Limit release, the album cements Magic's place as one of the label's most versatile voices, combining energy, heart, and creativity into a standout project. And there you have it, my complete ranking of No Limit's 1999 releases. This year was a fascinating snapshot of the label at a crossroads, veteran artists proving their resilience, new voices trying to make their mark, and experimentation with sound and style that sometimes paid off brilliantly and other times fell short. From Magic's Thuggin' showing unmatched versatility to Lil Soldier's Boot Camp serving as a curious experiment, 1999 captures both the highs and the growing pains of No Limit's golden era. No Limit's 1999 catalog may be inconsistent at times, but it's impossible to ignore the ambition, creativity, and sheer volume of talent the label put out in a single year. These albums reflect the era's energy, grit, and willingness to take risk, even if every project didn't hit perfectly. Whether you're revisiting old favorites or discovering some deep cuts for the first time, this ranking is a reminder of why No Limit left such an indelible mark on hip-hop history.